Hello,
Hello,
and welcome to Fruit Salad. What's today's mix? I'm Geo,
and I'm Tabby.
two nerds who you didn't think couldn't get any nerdier.
We want to thank you so much for joining us on this podcast episode, and we're happy to have you with us and hope you enjoy burning your time.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Of course.
So, yes, let's start it off by saying that this is actually different. It feels weird for me to record during the day.
Yeah, we had so many technical difficulties yesterday that we're actually recording a day later than we normally do.
Yeah, so it's like I said, I'm not used to looking around me and seeing that it is daylight. So used to it being dark.
Well,
But yeah, I have no idea what was happening yesterday.
yeah, I have no idea either. Probably a combination of your internet and my internet.
Just nothing seemed to work.
No, nothing. It was awful yesterday.
Well, aside from that, why don't you tell me about your week?
My week. I baked a bunch of stuff. Kitchen is
Ooh,
officially done. So
what did you make?
I made stromboli. I made some garlicky bread. Not like garlic bread in the way that you think of it, but like a loaf of bread that actually had like cloves of garlic just in the dough.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, what did you put in your stromboli?
So I made two different strombolis. Like I said, I live in a household with somebody that's trying very hard to be more pescatarian and they haven't given up most land meats, let's put it that way. um
Yeah.
so she does try to like not eat very much meat at all in the first place, but she will eat fish. That's why I say pescatarian. But um I made her a stromboli with pesto, a little bit of red sauce, put a bunch of mushrooms in it, black olives, mozzarella cheese, and just some spices. And then I rolled it up because that's what you do with a stromboli. It looks just like a pizza before you roll it up.
Ooh.
And then the other one I made was pesto, teeny bit of red sauce because I can't handle tomatoes too well, and pepperoni, black olives, um, and mozzarella cheese.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Take out the black olives and I would eat that up.
that's fair. Olives are life.
I can understand that. Everybody in the world loves olives except for me. I'm for real. Like, even my small niece, when she was just a toddler, her favorite snack in the world was black olives.
Yeah, you stick them on your fingers. You look like Timon from Lion King.
Oh no, she just pop them in her mouth.
Me
just
too.
just just get her. They have like these little fun packs of olives now, and they'd have like the little black olives, and I'd just be sitting there watching her just eat these up, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with your child?
Oh my god, no. If somebody opens a can of black olives around me, it's bad. It's real bad.
Well, I know what snack to stock for whenever you come see me.
It's
I will.
it's pretty good.
I'll have lots of black olives. Like
Not
my husband, he eats a lot of olives. He likes the olives that has like little garlic pieces stuffed in there.
Oh, like green
Um,
olives? Ugh, I
yeah.
hate green olives. I only
He
like black
like.
olives.
Oh, you're so weird. I don't eat any olives. Anyway, anyway,
Getting off topic here.
we always do. Don't you notice
It's
that?
just food. Like we'll go on a ramble
It's
for food anytime.
especially like my plans. My for dinner tomorrow is I'm going to actually recreate the recipe for Los Pollos Hermanos chicken from Breaking Bad.
Woo! It's gonna be awesome. Can't wait. You have to
I
send
know.
pictures and tell me how it tastes.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. So I have to do like this brine, and I was supposed to have my ingredients for me by the time I got home from my lunch break, and I'd go ahead and start it, and I could do like a 7 hour brine, and that would be good. Something to cook tonight, it'd be perfect. But my husband lost the list, so he couldn't go. So we're gonna go after we record this podcast, actually, so I can probably wait till this evening and start the brine and have it ready for 24 hours.
That's gonna be amazing.
I know I can't. It's my first time trying to fry chicken. I've never fried chicken before in my life,
If you
so
need help,
that's
let me know.
that's gonna be an adventure. I was telling Angel earlier today. I was like, salmonella, here I come.
No.
So we're all gonna get salmonella.
Honestly, Panda, I have an idea.
What is your idea?
And I don't care if the world hears it. So like we should pick once a month to do a recipe together.
Really?
Yeah. I know we live
That
like
would.
2 hours apart, but like I'll eat early, man.
All right, all right. But it can't be anything too crazy now because I don't really have access to the fancy stores like you do down here.
That's why you will get to pick.
Ooh, I do.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I have access to almost everything, so we need to go off
Yeah,
of what you have access
I
to.
live in the boonies. Okay.
Hey, I used
The
to, man. I
biggest,
get it.
the only grocery stores we have around here is a Walmart, a Ramey's, a Pick and Save grocery,
Mm.
which is I don't know what that is.
Wait.
All I know is
Oh, go ahead.
all I know is I record the commercials for it.
I think
I
that's
am the
great.
voice. I'm the voice of the local Pick and Save now. Apparently,
You should totally say the name of my favorite one that I saw when I was down there.
Piggly Wiggly.
Yes!
I don't think we have a Piggly Wiggly anymore. I think Pick and Save took over it.
Bless whoever was like, I'm gonna make a grocery store and it's gonna be called Piggly Wiggly. Like,
Piggly Wiggly.
I love you. Whoever you were, I love you and may you rest in the arms of angels. Honestly, thank you.
And it's like the mascot is like this knockoff Porky Pig lookalike.
I just love
It's so great.
Contrary to what
Now,
popular belief may be, our topic this week has absolutely nothing. Well, no, it does have to do with food. There's always snacks.
there's always snacks. Eventually, you guys should know that all of our talks will now devolve into discussions of food because
Yep.
we're always hungry.
That's it, Panda.
And
we're now a food
we're always
podcast. No kidding.
Oh, snap!
Honestly, I wouldn't be mad though.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't. I would not. But what are we going to talk about this week that's somewhat related to food in a very, very small portion of it?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yes.
Hell yeah. D&D has always been like a potluck for me, honestly. Most of the time everybody brings a bunch of food. Usually one person is in charge of like the main dish, but everybody brings snacks, and we all just pig out and play D&D. Honestly, so much fun. That part was great. But God, yeah, guys, Dungeons and Dragons, it's been going on since like forever. My dad was one of the, awesome kid nerds that played D&D when it first came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has like all the original first edition D&D guidebooks and whatnot from version 1. Yeah.
When did it come out? Like in the 60s?
60s, 70s, yeah. 60s. Well,
Yeah.
We can probably look it up. I'll look it up for...
Yeah, you look it up.
When...
You do that. I'll keep these guys entertained by shaking my dice.
Everybody loves it. 1974.
I was off.
By Gary Gygax, which I knew, and David Arneson also knew.
Because you're a nerd.
Gods. Well, I mean, I love D&D. Like,
nerd.
I am. Thank you, Sparkles.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Excellent. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons, Panda?
I've not as much as you because I saw your horde. So, not as much as you. I've taken part in two games, or what are they called? Campaigns?
Campaigns. Games, yeah.
Okay. I've taken part in 2 campaigns. They've never completed. I was actually a player in them. And the one that you're actually over this time, I am not a player, but I am your dungeon creator.
You're a co-DM. Mm-hmm.
I can't say I'm a co-DM. I don't have any influence over these people.
But you do.
I will make sure they die.
I'm the one that carries your influence to the players. You are the one that makes the devious dungeons. It works perfectly because it's a homebrew campaign. Um,
And the
yeah.
thing is that I told her that she's gonna have to reel me in because I can get pretty demented with the stuff I make. So
She's terrifying, which is exactly why I asked her to make the dungeons. Like, I knew what I was signing up for, what I was walking into when I asked, but, like, the players don't.
they don't deserve this.
I guess this is if any of them listen to their DM's podcast. Wink, wink. You might get some tips and tricks in this podcast on how to survive
oh
our
Lord,
dungeons. No,
that would be great
all
because
right.
then I could listen to what they have to say and then I could just counteract everything they do.
Exactly. That's why. See, it's perfect. You're a co-DM.
And
Um,
then I would be accused of being a cheater, and then I'd have to hang my head in disgrace, and then make an even more heinous dungeon,
yeah,
just
but
for the fact that they disrespected me.
like you can't really be a cheater as a dungeon master because you create the world, and so like if they don't like it, well, get good, scrub.
Well, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, no. We've said a couple acronyms for those who don't know what D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. DM means dungeon master. Basically, just means
Yes.
you're in charge of it. Some people also call them GMs, game masters. So honestly, I'm really a GM, and Panda is a DM.
Ooh, I am.
I'm a game master. She is dungeon master. That's how it works.
I will
Um,
not stop until they cry.
I'm pretty sure the level will do that.
But there's still so many. There's
It's true. It's true.
yes. It'd be great.
Haven't decided if I'm gonna bleep those out yet or not, but we'll see.
We're gonna. I think you should because it's still kind of a secret to them right now. And on the offhand chance that they listen, they were like, "Oh, well, this is based off of this and this and this." It's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you
they'll be prepared.
shut up,
Yeah.
you."
Yeah, so they're
Yeah.
gonna get bleeped.
Okay. Good. Good. Bleeps for your amusement.
Bleeped for my amusement, indeed.
So, how many games have you played?
Well, honestly, probably around 7. 7 or 8. This is probably my 8th game. My 3rd game as game master or dungeon master, whatever. Again, my first 2 games that I DM'd ended up falling apart and just drifting because of scheduling conflicts.
Mm-hmm.
And plus one of them had a lot of drama between some of the players, and so it just died a little bit. And unfortunately, that's a
Yeah.
side effect of D&D.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it's rare to find a really good group that goes like all the way, so just do your best, guys, and hang in there. It's such a fun game, honestly. It's so good. If you can find a good GM that manages people well, keeps them focused, then it'll be a fun game, and have respectful players. That's even better.
I believe so.
Yeah. Otherwise, I've done like 4-ish games as a player, probably a bit more than
Mm-hmm.
that. So it's probably more than 7 games. I would say probably around 10, but
I believe that. I would honestly believe that.
yeah, it's just been spread out over, like 12, 15 years. Ugh.
Well, let's see. Why don't you, since you're the expert here compared to me, I'm like a toddler compared to what you know. Why don't you tell us by what Dungeons and Dragons? Tell us about what it is.
Okay, so probably should have started there, right?
I know, right? That'd be the most logical thing to do.
Exactly. We're so good at getting off topic.
We are.
So Dungeons and Dragons is a fantasy tabletop role-playing game. Often DMs will use visual guides. Sometimes they're 3D. Sometimes they're just drawn on graph paper. It's all basically what people have access to and what people have time to do in their lives, right?
Right.
For a very long time, the way you played D&D was theater of the mind, completely imagined. So, the DM would just weave every single inch of the storytale, which is still what happens today. But
Hmm.
today there's more, guidebooks, pre-written campaigns, all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of people that homebrew as well. I'm one of those people. I started out with a pre-written campaign the very first time I DM'd, and then after that, I started homebrewing. So I had to learn the rules and whatnot really fast.
And that rule book is like the size of 10 encyclopedias put together.
Honestly, the amount of information that about D&D that exists could probably fill a whole server room.
I believe it
Yeah.
because it's insane.
Based off of, like everybody's homebrews, all the other kind of stuff. Like, yeah, definitely.
You people are insane.
You can even play it digitally now, which is where I've moved to. Especially since COVID happened, since we're still
Yes.
in the middle of a pandemic, whether people want to believe it or not. It's actually been really nice to be able to play on things like Fantasy Grounds and Roll20 because it's literally just a virtual tabletop. Of course, you can
Right.
have better graphics and everything else, but so far the consensus from my newest group is that they really, really, really like it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Usually when I sit in for, well, we only had one meeting so far. What I did was I logged into 14. I muted myself on Discord and I listened because I am the silent observer.
It is
I want to know what's going on.
It's
But
perfect.
why don't you tell me what can you be? Like tell me about some races and some classes which are like jobs. When I
Mm-hmm.
say classes, I mean like job classes like a I don't know, like a knight, summoner, white mage, black mage, red mage, blue mage, green
Right.
mage, yellow mage, purple mage.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. All right. um, so basically, you can be several different kinds of species, races, classes, or whatever. Um, as far as your imagination can take it, is as far as this game will go. Sky is really the limit, to be honest. Speaking of sky being the limit, you could be an air genasi, which means you're basically half air elemental. So, like, if you think about that, you can be like hobbits, humans, dragonborn, orcs.
I could be the Dovahkiin.
You could, well, yeah, but you have scales and you kind of look
Oh,
like a humanoid dragon without wings.
well, I guess if I was an Argonian.
I know! I know, exactly.
Fusro da bitches.
So dull! Yeah, I love Skyrim.
Oh, me too. Jason's actually playing it right now.
That is the best thing I've heard today. I need to play Skyrim. So
Yeah.
there's tons of races. Our Kokra, which are bird people. Bugbears. You can be bugbears now. Those used to just be
What's
a
a
monster class.
bugbear?
So they're kind of like a stupid troll
But do they look
with
like a
more
bear?
manners. No. Let me see if I can find a picture of a bugbear so you can see it. Probably not. Nope. Doesn't look. Well, I mean, I could find it online. I'm actually in Fantasy Grounds because it's so much easier to answer questions in here.
Oh, I bet.
But you can be like a Damphir, which is half human, half vampire. Or have a custom lineage. Be a dwarf. Be an elf. Be a fairy. Be a firbolg.
A what?
A firbolg.
What's that?
It's a Celtic. The name comes from the enemies of the Tuatha De Danann, which is a Celtic mythology, whatnot. They're basically used to be like a monster class, but now they're playable.
Can I be a scorpion?
I mean,
Could be like a really big scorpion, and my stinger. Whenever I sting somebody, it injects them with vanilla pudding. Can I do that?
I would do a sword and backpack with you with that, absolutely. But you could be a druid that gets to turn into a scorpion.
Well, but what if I'm a druid and I want to actually be a scorpion? like all the time. I don't want it to ever change back. Can I do that?
No.
Well, that's not fair.
Well, okay. Well, you
I want to be able to
could.
suck on my own stinger whenever I'm hungry. I get infinite supply of vanilla pudding.
With the right DM, you probably could play that.
But you're not going to let me.
I mean, I probably would. It would just take some time to like figure out.
Don't lie to these people. You'd be like, do not lie to these people, because we know as soon as we hang up this recording, you're going to be like, Panda, there's no way in hell you can be a scorpion whose stinger is full of vanilla pudding.
My rule as a DM is if you can make me laugh, and I mean like really make me laugh, like a belly laugh out of it, I'll try and find a way to make it work because it's gonna be hilarious for the story. Like to me, I'm a story slut, so I put the story above all else, and the characters make the story. So the characters are even above the story. So I respect my characters completely and their decisions, even if they're stupid ass decisions.
Okay. How about this? Last scenario for this topic. Can I be someone who is transformed into a platypus?
Yes, absolutely. You could be a cursed person.
That's how, I can be cursed to be a platypus. And then at the end of the story, whenever I find my antidote, I just knock it over. Like, I don't even want it anymore. Like, I'm going back to the river, bitches.
Shit, I like being a platypus. Humanity sucks. Reject humanity, return to platypus.
Yes. So now that we went through all of those ridiculous races, the ones I came up with, not the ones you did, what classes can you be?
Classes. So there's even more classes than there are races, honestly.
Oh Lord.
I know, it's sad. Like, again, homebrew is a big thing. Like, a lot of the things that I'm not mentioning are because, either I don't have the books for it in a certain program, or I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But for, like, classes, there are things like barbarians, which is like Hulk smash, right? Barbarian rage. I see red, I'm gonna smash things.
So that's the roid rage.
A roid rage, yeah, it's a barbarian.
Yes.
Then you have the bard, who's the exact opposite and will sleep with anything that looks at it.
Nice.
Clerics, most powerful healers, actually. They're literally built for healing. Yeah, they're white mages. Druids can kind of be anything. Think of World of Warcraft druids. You can be DPS, you can be a tank, you can be a healer. Works in D&D too. You want to be a tank as a druid?
I would classify that as a blue mage, possibly.
Yeah, probably. There are fighters, monks, paladins, which is a big healy tanky boy, rangers, which are awesome. That was my highest level player I ever got, was a Horizon Walker ranger. I had force damage with every attack. I was like Darth Vader, basically, with a bow.
Oh, wow. That is insane.
Yeah, I had like 3 shots. I got up to like level 10. I had 3 attacks, plus each attack I got to add force damage on top of, and my DM tried to kill me mercilessly. I imagine so. I ended up taking War's Ring and then seeing my way out of there. Yeah, that was awesome.
Absolutely.
Kiosri was
insane, amazing. Mad lad.
Kiosri is the best. He went and retired in the forest with his husband. Then there's rogues, which I'm playing now, which is fun. I'm playing an assassination rogue, going super OG. Sorcerers, warlocks, wizards, gunslingers are another. Yeah, just kind of cool. There's just lots of different stuff that you can do. If you can think it, you can be it. Tying into Final Fantasy, I saw an astrologian healing class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's honestly the next class I'll play if my DM will let it. I want to be a healer. It's what I main in Final Fantasy. But I also found Dragoon and everything else, and like specific Final Fantasy Dragoon with like Nidhogg's eye and like related to dragons and stuff. Yeah, it's cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. But yeah.
So now that we went over that, why don't you tell me how do you play? Because Lord knows I don't know how to play. I participated in 2 games and I still have no idea what the hell I'm doing.
So D&D is basically, you're out there verbally and visually telling a story with your friends. You write kind of like the main plot storyline and you let the players tell the rest of it with skill checks and role play, actually making them play it out, making them speak for their characters.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that find out if, say, I want to sneak into this place, right? Like I want to go all sneaky stealth boy and like go scout the area for my team, right? The DM will look at you and be like, "Okay, cool. Roll for stealth." And so you'd look at your character sheet, which is a prepared sheet that lets you know everything that you can do. And usually, you'll have proficiencies in certain things. If you're a rogue, you should have proficiencies in sneak. If you don't, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh Lord.
Sorry, I'm not gatekeeping. But you ask if you can roll, and you'll roll a d20, which is a 20-sided dice. And it is exactly, pretty self-explanatory. There's 20 sides on it, all labeled 1 through 20. And you'll roll that and add whatever number of proficiency, bonus that you have for sneak on top of it. And your DM decides, did they pass the check? Are they actually sneaking? So that, that's DM discretion. Of course, if you roll a nat 20, we all know that you've just completely winked out of visual sight.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. A 20 is, and the reason I say that is a 20 is a critical success. So, like, the best possible solution, that's what would happen. On the opposite end of the spectrum, if you roll a 1, also known as a nat 1, or a critical failure.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one's fun for the DM, not so fun for the players. DMs love seeing those ones.
So let me get this straight, okay? Let's say I get in my car and I really want pizza and I really need something because I'm hungry. So I hop in my car and I'm driving to town and I pull up at the best pizza place, but there's a big line.
Okay.
So this is exhausting. I don't want to stand in line for like 6 hours. Here we go. So I get in line and I roll my dice and I roll a 20. What happens?
So you're rolling to get into line to see if you can get into line, like if you can make it, right?
Right.
And you roll a 20?
Yes.
Okay, so you do like a backhand handspring flip into the line. Everybody claps. You get to go first place and you get to place your order. That's a nat 20.
Oh, nice. Yes. Let's do that. Okay, so then what would happen if I roll a 1?
If you roll a 1?
Yeah.
If you roll a 1 to stand in line, you get shot and then the pizza place explodes.
Oh my god, no. No. I don't want to roll a 1. I take it back. That's awful.
Yeah, no. It just depends on how your DM's feeling that day.
Oh man. I've got to catch you on a good day then.
Indeed.
Indeedery do. So I know that there's all kinds of dice involved in this game. So tell me about the dice, because I have 4 and you told me I should have more.
Well, yeah, you should have 7. 7 is the normal set number for dice. There's 7 different dice that come in one set for D&D. Obviously, there's different sets for different games, but I know you had 7. You've just misplaced 3 of them.
I probably ate them. My hungry ass.
Guys, don't eat your dice. They look delicious. Don't eat them. They're not good.
They look so yummy. They look like candy.
No, stop it.
I'm hungry.
I happen to have kind of an obsession with dice, which I think happens to a lot of people that get really into D&D, especially DMs. I have 12 sets in my hands right now, and I know that I have probably at least another 12 in a box somewhere. Yeah.
You, you do we need an
No.
intervention?
No, they are my click-clack math rocks. You cannot have them. They're mine.
But you don't. Why do you need so many?
So I actually have a decent excuse as to why I need a bunch of dice. I am a DM. If I need, if you are in a higher level campaign and you have, so you're just fighting a dragon, some of their attacks are like 30 D4s or 30 D6s, and you're just like, well, guess I'm rolling these 15 dice twice. Like, that's pretty insane.
But what? There's no why.
Because
Why do you have to roll so many dice at the same time?
Because those are higher level campaigns and stuff gets dicey.
I don't like. Oh my god! Did you really?
What?
Did you really just go there?
Oh. That was a good pun, wasn't it? It was unintentional. Yeah. I'm a magician.
No, you're
shorts.
not. You stop that. You stop it right now.
I'm a god.
You stop that. That was against the law.
It's in my blood. It's in my genes. It's in my dice bags.
Oh my god. Anyway, what kind of dice do we have? I dropped my dice.
Why did you drop your dice? It's okay, I have dice. I dropped
one. I can't find. I lost the dice in my car.
Now she has 3 dice, guys.
So, okay, let's go over the dice.
We'll start with the lowest denomination first.
Yes.
Which is a 4-sided dice. It looks like a little pyramid. Mine looks like a rainbow. Looks like a prism. Reminds me of Pink Floyd.
That one. That's the one I just lost. That's the one I'm looking for right now.
That's the one that's as painful as caltrops when you step on them.
A what?
If you have never stepped on a D4, count your blessings.
But what's a caltrops?
A caltrop? It's like, isn't a caltrop those, like, jacks? You know, like when you're playing jacks, the little pointy, spiky thing that sits on the ground?
You call them jacks.
No.
You make things so complicated.
Oh, caltrops. Oh my god. So, like, that was the D&D thing. My brain was totally thinking D&D.
Of course it is. That's what the topic is.
That's so funny. But that's exactly what I was thinking of. It's the right thing. A caltrop is an area denial weapon made up of 2 or more sharp nails or spines arranged in a manner that one of them always points upwards from a stable base.
That was a whole lot of words.
Yeah, basically it means it's like if it lands on the ground, it's always going to land with a spiky side up. So that, you impale your feet on it. But in D&D, you throw caltrops to, like, create difficult terrain, and, like, you have to roll 1d4 for every, like, 5 feet you move through it or something. Yeah.
Oh. I see.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
The next size dice is a cube. It's a dice that we're all quite familiar with seeing. Usually,
I know that one.
Yeah, usually we see it with a bunch of dots instead of written out numbers, but for, speed alone, we put the numbers on it because nobody wants to count dots when you're already having to count 7 D6s.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just let me know how many of each number is up there. Then you have a D8, which you actually don't have.
I don't even know what that looks like.
Yeah, it's like if you put 2 D20s together and shrunk it down a little bit. Or not 2 D20s, 2 D4s. What's wrong with me?
2 D4, so 2 of the triangle things?
Yeah, if you put 2 of those together, it would look like a D8.
Ooh. Wait, now I see why it's called a D8. It's got 8 sides now because she put 2 of the 4 together. I'm a
Yeah,
genius.
you are.
I'm so smart.
You put them together, you add a side, basically. Um, then you have a D10,
Uh huh.
which is fun. Looks like a little spinny top. Um, then a percentile dice. It's the exact same shape as a D10, but instead of singular digit numbers, it's, 10, 20, 30, 40. And you would roll, a D10 and a percentile dice to get, like, a whole percent, you know? Then you have a
I can't.
D12. You're still trying
I
to get
can't.
your dice, aren't you?
I am. I won it,
You,
and I was so close.
I could hear you. You're like Scrat from Ice Age. You're just like, give, give, give.
I need it. That was my favorite one to touch.
Oh,
Oh,
we'll get it
I
back.
think
Don't
it.
worry.
I think it fell into the crevice. No, now my poor hand.
Oh God, it might go under the seat.
No, no. I tried to aim it towards there, and now it's like in the bottomless pit between the seat.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think that's a good thing I'm just, making dungeons this time.
I'm gonna send you a new set of dice.
Don't you dare.
I
Don't you
have
turn me into an
so
addict.
many,
But you need them all, remember?
but my panda needs dice. I am
If I need
saddened.
dice, no, it's okay. I'm just terrible with dice, apparently.
They run away from you. Then you have a D12. Getting off track a little bit. 12-sided.
When are we not?
It's called like a dodecahedron or something. And then
Da-da-da.
there's a D20, which is a 20-sided dice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I explained before. But that is your holy grail of dice. Make sure you don't lose that dice. You can't play D&D without a D20.
I'm gonna hold on to this with my butterfingers.
Yeah, that's good. Wing!
Hold it tight.
I'm just
I
gonna
got
hear
this.
dice falling somewhere.
Oh no. Oh no.
No. So yeah, my favorite set that I have right now are transparent rainbow colored. They're pretty great. They're literally like a rainbow.
Well, mine are just black and yellow.
Because you're a Hufflepuff.
I am a Hufflepuff.
I need a set of rainbow.
So, tell me, what is it like to be a DM or a GM?
It's the closest to feeling like God that you'll ever get.
Oh, really?
Honestly, yeah. Especially if you're making a homebrew campaign where you create the entire world. Yeah. I mean, you control everything. Well, I mean, you don't really control everything. You write the main storyline. You handle all of the NPCs, including enemies, allies, anybody that people meet along the way. Animals, even. You have to mimic animals sometimes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Or dragons, or anything that the players encounter in their world. That's you. That's the DM. So it's a tough job. It is tough. There's a lot of stress behind it, but it's really fun to create a world and then watch your friends and family just A, try to survive it, and B, just what they do in this environment, My stepmom surprised me because she is so into this. She was like RPing the entire time from when our D&D session got postponed until we did it again like 2 days later, like when we rescheduled. And she just kept RPing with people in the chat because she was so into it. And honestly, it's so rare. She's like a unicorn.
Oh, bless it.
I know.
I think that's awesome, though.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's hard to find people that'll actually like roleplay like that.
Yeah.
But my entire group is made up of people that roleplay like that.
That is really cool. I mean, you got lucky with your draw this time.
I really did. I was very careful about, who I allowed into the group and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I my players, I have to just say like what my players are at the moment. Like they're pretty fantastic people. I have somebody playing as an Arkakra that's based off of a secretary bird because they
What? A bird?
a secretary bird.
A secretary bird.
Yes. If you have not seen
Okay.
one, you need to look it up. Um, they're fantastic. They are known for absolutely kicking the out of snakes. They're like snake hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And their legs and their feet hit with such a force that's like insane. And like kill something with like a snake with one pow.
Pow.
Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. But my cousin's husband, my lovely cousin Michael, he he wanted to be a Karen that got turned into a secretary bird, so I made it happen.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, she's an Arakakra, and she's a barbarian, so I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Karen's a barbarian, makes sense to me.
Oh, no. No, we don't need a weaponized Karen.
Well, I have one.
Who else do we have?
We have a water genasi, that is a druid. And so the fun fact is all my players came into this world via the Bermuda Triangle and a plane crash. So everybody was a human from our world. And then a bunch of gods were like, Bermuda Triangle, and then yank a couple people off the plane. The rest of the plane goes back to the regular world. And yeah, crashes, whatnot. But players wake up in this new world and they're completely different races. So I have, like I said, the Arakakra. I have a water genasi, druid. She's more of the Healy type. She's our only healer.
Oh,
so
God.
I already told my players, I'm like, since some of you are first timers and some of you just haven't played that much, I'd highly recommend buying potions as soon as you can. Not to say that druids can't be good healers, but like she has one healing spell. I'm like,
they're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, they really are. So, and if you're hearing this, don't you dare change your stuff. In fact, you can't.
No. You are actually, it's set in concrete now. You can't change.
You can't change.
Too bad. Sorry.
I know. Then I have an air genasi, who unfortunately didn't make the last meeting, and I haven't heard anything back from, so I don't know if I will still have an air genasi. I'm hoping that I will, but don't know. She's a bard, which is half the reason why I want her in the group, because I love having a bard in my parties. It's chaotic. But the other two that we have right now are my cousin, who is a tabaxi rogue, but kind of a different kind of tabaxi. They're not like tall, lanky, like Khajiit cat people, but she's little. She's like halfling size. Chibi.
Oh no.
Chibi sized.
Oh no, she's a little pocket.
She's a little pocket. I know, and she's a little rogue kitten, so it's perfect. Hilarious. Her name is Biscuits.
That's even better.
Oh, the water genasi's name was Anisoptera for dragonfly. Was my stepmom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know, it's cute. And then the other person that we have is my friend, who is playing a 10-year-old little boy who got turned into a halfling. A little halfling druid that loves goose.
Oh.
His pet goose. Goose.
Goose. Wasn't the if I remember correctly, I was in fact listening. Whenever the child took the goose on the plane, it was actually a stuffed animal, right?
Yes, so like everybody got to keep a piece of their past. Something that was very, very important to them. So Karen got to keep a bottle of her favorite Pinot Grigio.
Of
Um,
course.
um, Anisoptra got her parent, like the cartography tools and whatnot that her parents had given to her upon like graduating. Um, Biscuits. What did Biscuits get to bring?
I actually don't remember.
I don't
Feel
know
bad
if
about that.
Biscuits got to bring anything. I don't think they had any real attachments, so I couldn't. Probably their thieves' tools, because they were a thief in the past life too.
Okay. Probably like a lock picking set.
Yeah, they're thieves' tools. Yeah, exactly. Uh, and then what was? Oh, right, Goose Goose. So Greg Oos is the character's name, like Grey Goose.
Greg Oos.
Yeah, Greg Oos. Love my
Oh my,
players.
oh my god.
Oh, Biscuits. Full name is Needs Biscuits in the Morn, but we call him Biscuits.
Oh, oh no.
So Greg was an unaccompanied minor on a plane, and he brought his stuffed animal Goose Goose with him, which is a little white goose with a red ribbon around his neck. Well, when they landed and they transformed, um, Greg woke up without a stuffed animal, or like any of his other belongings, and he hears this like soft honking in the distance, and then Goose Goose was a real thing, and he he turned real, cause yes,
Okay, I have a question about that actually.
yeah,
And when you say that the stuffed goose turned, actual animal, actually alive.
yeah.
Um, so how long is a goose's lifespan?
Well, everybody in this world's immortal, so.
Oh, so the goose is immortal.
Mm-hmm.
When we say immortal, we mean that they are immortal. They don't age,
Yeah, they don't
but they
age.
can be killed.
Yeah, but they can be killed. Exactly. Basically, the whole game field, the whole world is like the gods' chessboard that they like settle disputes and take bets and do other things on, and
Hmm.
just absolutely destroy normal people's lives. Innocent people pull them into this world, and they're like, I like you. You're just like, well, great, thanks. So that's what happened to these players.
Well, then, this is going to be quite the ride.
It is. It's gonna be fun.
So, tell me what will happen if someone dies? Like, let's say, Karen, she drank her last bottle of wine and she died. What would happen to that character?
I like that Karen's the one that dies.
Well, I can't say the child. That was the last one we talked about. I'm not going to talk
I
about
know.
killing a child.
Who's the one that is definitely not innocent here? Yeah, it's the Karen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, definitely the correct choice for death. Sorry, Michael. He'd probably be laughing, honestly. So if Karen died, like if Karen failed her saving throws, so when you go down with 0 HP, you fall prone, and then you have to make a series of 3 saving rolls. If you succeed on one of those, you will come back up with 1 health point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think if you just no, that's with like a barbarian. I think I'm wrong. I think if you fall prone, you make saving throws to stay alive until one of your teammates can get to you.
Ah,
So
okay.
like you have to be healed, or somebody has to like shove good berries down your throat, or like a potion or something. Um, yeah, and then you can come back up. Of course, it takes a full round of movement to stand back up, but yeah, fun stuff.
So, I mean, if you fail all 3 of the saving throws, that
Oh,
character is just gone, right? Like will
so
you have a funeral for them or
that again, that particularly funeral and stuff, that would be up to the players whether they would have a funeral for Karen or not. But there is still a way to save Karen. even if she fails all of her saving rolls and she's just a spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is opportunities for the players to go on like a quest line to bring them back. Or if the player is just like, because, you know, they go through this whole quest line to bring somebody back, and the spirit has to be willing to come back into the body. So if Karen's spirit is just like, nah, fuck you guys, like they just wasted all that time trying to bring her back. So
Yeah.
it's basically up to the player. If they want to come back, the party can go on that quest. If they don't want to come back, a new player would just drop onto the board. So
So they
would
can
make a
take
new
control
character.
of a new player if they wanted to.
Yes.
Would they start off at level 1 again?
Some DMs would make you do that. If Karen died at level 2, yeah, I'd bring her. Like, the next character they'd come back would be like a level 1. But I don't like people feeling like they're behind the rest of the party. So usually I let them bring in a character at the level of the rest of the party.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, it would be more fun that way.
And that's how I feel. It's more fun that way. I don't want to punish a character because they died, right? Like, the punishment is they don't get to play that fun character anymore. They have to play somebody new.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's say, wait, what?
No, nope, nothing. I was just
No, what is it? Tell me.
I was just saying. So
Yes,
that's that. Yeah, that's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, literally, that's it.
So I was just going to wrap us up with one final topic.
Oh.
What snacks do you like to bring to D&D?
Oh, okay. Have to have the chips, right? Because crunch.
What kind of chips though?
Depends on my mood, but usually French onion sun chips if I can find them.
Ooh, sun chips are good.
Yeah, and they're healthier. Otherwise, I really like actually making good food for D&D. That's my favorite thing to do now. Less like when I was younger, of course, it was all the snacks all the time, right? But now that I'm, waving at 30, my my body has decided that like chips and high saturated fats and stuff like that are murder on my digestive system. So I have to cut back the chips. I can't eat them anymore. So I've been making foods. Like I made stromboli for D&D. I'll usually make like curry or make something else that's just like kind of yummy. I'll try to stick to like finger foods. So like curry buns or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could make a curry bun. I have leftover
You
curry.
can make a curry bun.
Anyway.
I say go for it.
I'd require more bread being made, which is not terrible.
You love making bread, though.
I do.
Well, my thing is pizza. You gotta bring a pizza.
That's fair.
Because pizzas are the best. It's technically a finger food because you could eat it with one hand.
Yeah, I feel like that's the majority of people's response would be pizza.
Because it's quick, it's easy. Yeah, everybody loves it. You can't go wrong with pizza. If there's something on it you don't like, you can just pick it off.
Exactly.
Or give it to me because I'll eat it. I'll load up my pizza with your scraps.
I'm willing to pick almost anything off except for mushrooms. Unfortunately, if a pizza has had mushrooms cooked into it, the oils of the mushrooms have gone into the rest of it, and it's just bad for me. Very allergic.
It makes it soggy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're allergic to mushrooms?
Hell yeah.
How do I not know this?
That's like the most... I've told you before. That's like the most dangerous food for me is mushrooms.
Well, no mushrooms for you then.
No.
I will inspect your pizza by eating it first and then letting you know if there's mushrooms.
Perfect.
See?
Saves me the time and the calories.
I got you. I got you, fam.
Perfect. Oh, well. Seems like it.
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. That should just about wrap it up for this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Fruit Salad. What's today's mix?
Wait, you can't end yet. You have to roll to end the podcast.
Oh, I do? Really?
You do.
Okay, here I go. I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1?
Yeah, it's a big 1. I'm looking at it right now.
Panda, no!